Now I'm gonna take these lower transmission bolts. Be careful, they're aluminum. They should be replaced every time you're taking the transmission out. We need to put a support under the transmission first so the transmission doesn't fall down. Now we're gonna lower the transmission just enough so we could reach the bolts on top of the transmission. There's a bolt over here that's holding this link to the transmission. It's a 13mm bolt. Remove the starter bolt. There's an auxiliary pump, auxiliary water pump on top of the transmission. This one over here, you could either take this bolt out or you could unclip this clip and slide it off. Just pry this tab up with your finger and slide the pump up off the bracket. You could probably leave the bracket on the transmission. Yeah, those upper bolts are a little pain to get to. You need to use some extensions. You need to use some extensions and swivels to get to those bolts. And you see we have this double swivel extension going on. Like I said before, those bolts are not really easy to get to, but you could do it. Yeah, the swing is still in the way, so I'm gonna remove that as well. I guess the hardest bolt is gonna be this one over here. That's a top starter bolt. That's the only thing left that's holding the transmission. Just for safety reasons, put one of these lower bolts in on the bottom of the transmission so it doesn't slide out unintentionally and hit you on the head. It's pretty heavy, don't do that. Alright, so got all the bolts out. Let's bring the transmission lift in and pull it off. We'll put the transmission jack under the transmission. Take that one last bolt out that you put in there to secure it from falling on top of you, and gently pry the transmission off the engine. That's it. The transmission is off. Now bring the transmission down a bit, making sure no wires, hoses, or anything that matter is getting caught on any other parts. Yeah, make sure the wires are attached to the transmission. Make sure that you unclip them and take them off. Otherwise you will rip them and you will have a problem with that. The transmission barely goes through the subframe, but it does. Be very careful. Now we need to take these T45 bolts out from the axle flange and slide the whole axle out of the transmission in order for us to pull the clutch assembly of the So take the axle shaft out. You need to kind of ask it nicely to come out. Slide the shaft out of the transmission. Be careful, try not to damage that seal over there. And now you could pull the clutch off the transmission, but make sure that the transmission doesn't flip backwards when you do that, because you're gonna offset the weight tremendously. Just try to hold the transmission while you're doing this, because this clutch assembly weighs probably like 30-40 pounds. See, like I was saying, the transmission kind of tries to flip backwards. Adjust the transmission lift. So the transmission doesn't fall down, and try to secure the transmission to the lift just to make sure it doesn't fall down. That's it. This is the seal I was talking about. Try not to damage that. So here's our clutch assembly. This thing is only a couple of thousand miles old, but due to tremendous abuse, it slips now. See, we have pressure plate springs are bent, overheated. Well, we're gonna replace the clutch. Yeah. As you see, it was a performance clutch, kind of burnt out. It's a stage 1 or stage 2. Well, it's been launched a bunch of times. Just remember one thing: you have to break the clutch in at least 400 or 500 miles. Take it easy on your new clutch. And if you put in your performance clutch into your car, don't expect it to outlast the original clutch. Usually original clutches last around 140,000–150,000 miles if you drive it nicely. The performance clutches don't last more than 20–30,000 miles. Although they hold a lot more power than the original clutch, they don't last at all. There you go. We're gonna replace this thing now.